Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Trader Isaac. Oh, what a day. Okay, that's embarrassing. Am I good now? All right. So, welcome. Welcome to Thursday Night Stock Charts Live. This is where we review the weekly charts, how we're poised to close. And as I always like to say, there's one trading day left to go. So, a lot can happen. We have a lot of charts to go through. We're also going to talk about market sentiment and market valuation and also the speculative sentiment, because they're going to tell us kind of where we're at in the market cycle, because this week has been pretty volatile. I think it's a tell to a certain extent, particularly to the small and micro cap stocks. And later on, we're going to go to member stock chart requests. That's where we review the symbols that our members submit for me to review. And I'm targeting us to stay live until about 7 o'clock tonight. If we have enough member stock chart requests and or super chats, we'll go to 9 o'clock. But I'm targeting 7 o'clock. I'm refreshing the members request. We have Nestor with FedEx, OPTT. All right, we got a few here. And we'll go to super chats, member stock chart requests. And if I have time, I'll take some requests from the audience. So let's go to comments. Trader Isaac, thank you. Yes, like and subscribe, please. Laser chart request, you got it. Search one. Hello? Falcon, good evening to you. Matt Carter, good evening. Glad to be here. Hello, everyone. All right. So let's, before we get started, I want to talk to you about our sponsor over at TrendSpider. Folks, if you're not using TrendSpider, you're not on par with your competition. You need to be using automated technical analysis to help you identify opportunities, speed up your analysis, and improve your accuracy using their algorithms. Automate your grunt work, reduce costly analytical mistakes, find winning chart setups, and time your trades with precision. And they have new functionality I'm going to show you tonight. It reflects insider buying. So it's a nice new widget they added on. I'll show you on Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg's dumping a bunch of shares since November, pretty much every single day. I'll demonstrate that for you. So check it out. There's a link below. You can go there, get 35% off using my discount code. Take a tour. They have a 7-day free trial offer. I give it away free to silver and gold level members. So TrendSpider, again, 35% discount code below. Take a tour. You have nothing to lose. Let's get to it. All right. So back in the 1990s, we had these group of ladies. I believe they're still around, but they were on CNBC all the time, and they were the Beardstown ladies. Give me a thumbs up if anybody's heard of the Beardstown ladies. Many of you may not be that old, but it was a tell. You had this little old lady group, and they were doing quite well. It was a bull market. You couldn't lose money. And all of a sudden, it all came tumbling down. What do we have now? We have Wall Street bets. So what's old is new form, but they're getting press, media attention. They're small investors. Granted, the power in the aggregate that Wall Street bets has is far greater than the Beardstown ladies. But my point is here, everybody's in the market. That is a tell. That is speculative mania. How do we know? Bumble. I think they have revenues of $275 million. They're worth $14 billion. Their value, the market value at the peak of the day today, they just IPO'd. Kind of ridiculous. When you take a look at weed stocks, MJ, I mean, this thing just tore this past week. It's probably going up higher, but the weed stocks got annihilated today. If you want to talk about other names, here's Bumble. Bumble opened at, what was the high of the day? 79.60 was the high of the day. We closed out the day at 70.31. So big fade after the IPO. It's probably going to go down lower eventually. With all the hype right now, you never know. Amc Entertainment. High of $20.36. We closed out at what, $5.61 today. GME. High 483. Closed today out at 51.10. BlackBerry, I think, leveled off. No, it's actually started to break again as well. So BlackBerry high of 28.77, hitting a low today of 12.13. So we have speculative mania. We now have backlash. Angry customers show up at Robinhood headquarters in wake of GameStop trading chaos. So not only is a small investor, we're still in an uptrend, a bullish uptrend, but the small investor is getting annihilated in these stocks. What else? Valuation. The valuation in red, this is the S&P 500 in black. In red is PE equals 20 or greater, and it's also an indicator of being overvalued. We have never, ever, ever been this far extended beyond this red line equaling overvalued, way beyond the dot-com bubble. Pillar-to-sheet ratio, not quite near where it measured out and topped out back in 2000, but we're elevated. We're well above Black Tuesday. We're well above the financial crisis. We're well above Black Monday. But when it really gets scary here is when you take a look at the Buffett indicator. And the Buffett indicator, we are at all-time highs. We are way beyond the internet bubble because the Buffett indicator takes into account the aggregate U.S. market value and current quarterly annualized GDP. So this indicator, again, has never been higher. You've had Buffett buying international stocks. You've had Buffett buying Barrick Gold. During the depths of the sell-off back in April and March, he wasn't buying anything. And you remember, the last time he was vocal and active during a crisis was back during the financial crisis, and that was here. Right down here, September of 2008, and that is when he saw value, and he stepped in, and he bailed out Goldman Sachs. That's when the market was undervalued, and he stepped in. So we are nowhere near that. We are way closer to the top than we are to a bottom. Now, am I making the call that we're going to crash tomorrow? No, because there are things out there that scare me because I currently have a short position. Powell said U.S. economy has to add 500,000 workers every month or he won't hike. I'm sorry. We're losing, what was it today? Over 700,000 jobs per week. We added last month 49,000 jobs. So we are nowhere near being net positive on job gains. So he's going to have to print, I don't know until they're saying 2 years here. Good luck with that. So the free money is going to be coming hot and heavy. But the one thing I would be worried about, if you're betting on that hitting the market and forcing the market up higher, this is off of Zero Hedge. I'll share both of these articles. In fact, let me do it now before I forget. That's 1. This is 2. All right, so now I won't forget. So this was published today, and it's measuring out where the money's going to go. Who's going to get the money from the new stimulus? And those that are going to put that money into the stock market are young, single, definitely. Married, no children, yeah, they may do it. Head of the household, this is really where, you know what, you got a kid now, things have changed, man. You're not speculating in the market. I hope not. Especially if you're unemployed, right? One of your partners is unemployed or you're unemployed. So I don't know how much oomph this new package is going to add to the market. Most of the money is going to go to people married with children. So I don't know. But there will be more money, a avalanche of money coming towards the economy, and expect definitely a bump when it hits the market. But me personally, if I were a hedge fund, I went over this with numbers last night. If I were a hedge fund, I'd be looking at the market saying, okay, this thing is on thin ice. Here's a weekly chart, S&P 500, new all-time highs. There's no volume. So why not get net short, float a couple of stories, get the media on our side, send the market lower just in time for when those checks go out, cover shorts, get net long, enjoy the wave up higher. That's what I would do. So I could see it happening. I think tomorrow's going to be a critical day for how we move up next week, or how we set up for next week, because we've seen a tremendous amount of volatility this week, in particular today. The small caps all week, micro caps all week, and they have been the winners. So let's begin with bonds. Yield curve backing off a bit this week. Bullish for stocks. Bonds trying to hold on to gains on the week, but just barely. Now, if you ask me what I think is the biggest threat to the market, it's this chart, the 10-year yield. After the CPI data was released yesterday, which was tame, you saw bond yields pull back. And we closed out today back below this red line. I put this up there a few weeks ago as a line at which I thought that we may begin to peter out on yields and then roll over. Now, the question is, after breaking out last week, what if this is just a retest of the breakout point and we begin to start shooting up on yields? What happens then? That's a problem. The economy begins to stall. Borrowing costs go up higher. Small cap stocks get destroyed because their cost of borrowing goes like this. So beware the 10-year yield. Keep an eye on this. Now, a lot of guys will say, the stock market's going to continue up higher if the 10-year yield continues up higher because it's a sign of economic strength. Well, to a certain extent, you have a certain amount of normalization right now, but I don't believe that the rising 10-year yield is indicative of a strong economy. We're losing over 750,000 jobs per week. We gained 49,000 last month. That is not a booming economy. So this 10-year yield, if it continues up higher, they are going to have to buy bonds to keep yields where they're at or lower, so much more aggressively than they ever did, because it's going to be like pushing on a string. They're going to have to keep getting more and more aggressive to keep things just where they are at current. So beware the 10-year yield. The tips, they appear to be lightening up here. I think the CPI data hurt them yesterday. We haven't had a new weekly high in about 3 weeks now, but still very bullish. The dollar Weak. Should have rallied on that CPI data yesterday. No go. We are poised. We have one trading day left to go. We are poised to close down below a key support level. So is this a new lower high for the US dollar? Quite possibly. So keep this in the back of your mind when we're going over gold and silver later on. So the dollar under a lot of pressure, one trading day left to go. The VIX up on the week. But we have not yet recaptured this prior support level in blue. Higher lows, ultimate oscillator. Stokes, higher lows. MACD, not looking too shabby. Nice consolidation here. Beware the VIX. The Dow transports. Excuse me, folks. Dow transports weekly chart. We have a major breakout on the week. The question is, does it close there? To answer that question of whether or not it's probable, you need to take a look at a daily chart. This is very close to a hammer formation, not very bullish. Yes, it's great that they rallied off the lows of the day, but they couldn't push it positive. That's a problem. So we may have a lower high. When does it get bullish? Well, when we take out 13,208, it's game on. You got to buy the transports. Franklin, good evening, Bob. Good evening, Franklin. What is up with NVIDIA going up higher or top? We'll take a look at it. TZA time. We own the TZA, Joe. It's broken out on a 4-hour time frame. That's the best that could be said for it right now. I'm reluctant to go adding more until we see a break in the market. I thought that we were going to get that today because it was getting pretty hairy at lunchtime. But the market, rallied back fairly well. The Tues, S&P 500, large caps did well. So what I think we may be seeing here, especially if yields push up higher, is rotation out of the small and micro caps and into the larger cap names that are well financed. They're not worried about going to the market for debt. They have enough cash to fund themselves. So I'm more bearish on the small caps. Is it time to go buying more? Quite yet, not from my perspective, but very soon. I want to see a market break. Or a very clear signal that we have a market top. Hypothetical. Let's say we wake up tomorrow morning. We have triple-digit Dow futures, yet we close down triple digits. Boom. That's probably your top there, assuming that it's going to come on big down volume. So that would sway me. So we'll take a look at TZA. S&P 500 weekly chart, new all-time highs. No volume. Volume is very light. MACD, very long in the tooth. Daily chart. Hammer formation. This could very well be a consolidation. Maybe they'll pump it up higher. What I do want to point out, though, is that we've been seeing despite the fact we're putting in, God damn it, all-time highs on the S&P 500, we have an RSI with a bearish divergence. It's not confirming the new all-time highs. It hasn't. So a cautionary tale, no reason to go getting net short of the S&P 500, but a warning sign. Volume, very weak today. Small caps. Okay, so the small caps have rallied from their October lows. I had this up here. I must have deleted it. About 55.5%. Not too shabby. Now, we're flashing a topping tail. New all-time highs this week, but we're flashing a big topping tail. One trading day left to go. For all I know, it's going to trade at the highs of the week. It's going to close out at the highs of the week. But we're seeing a lot of volatility on the IWM. The RVX, which is the Russell 2000 volatility indicator, has been moving up higher of late. And it could go a lot further. So beware. RVX moving up higher. Volume on a weekly time frame, horrible. This is horrible. Note the lower high on MACD histogram, daily chart. Yeah, I heard Disney did well with their Disney Plus channel. But now they had themselves in all sorts of controversy over that. They fired some actress. I don't know the story. I don't know the story. I try not to watch Twitter anymore. It's so toxic. IWM daily chart. Down day. Look at the volume bars relative to up volume bars to the downside. So this could be a consolidation. I wouldn't be surprised if we broke out, but it's not looking good for the small caps. Very extended. And when you take a look at them on a monthly time frame, or is it a weekly time frame? No, monthly time frame. That's wrong. Take a look at this. This chart goes back to when the IWM first started trading back in 2001. We have never, ever, 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 ever spent or closed 3 months above the 2 standard deviation Bollinger Band and leaning into, for 3 consecutive months, the 3 standard deviation Bollinger Band. You're not supposed to be there, but we are. And this has to get remedied. And for all I know, maybe we'll trade sideways for a month. Doesn't necessarily mean a correction, but I think it will. The Tues, up on the week, no volume. Horrible volume. Daily chart. Hammer formation. Not great. But it's not an indicator that you would want to get short of the market. It's just a signal. Like you had the same thing back here. Whenever you get these, usually it doesn't end well. Not always, but usually. Back here, a little pullback. Minor. Back here, significant pullback. Back here, a little bit of a pullback. Now you've had one. You had Doji Star indecision. Hammer formation, then 2 down days. Another hammer formation. A lot of indecision at all-time highs. No bueno. Not good. Volume today, very light. The banks. They're holding the breakout on a daily time frame. We'll go to that in a moment. If yields break out and the market holds up, banks, market leadership, they will become. But there is a threat here of a double top. We faded on the week. I think that we may continue to move up higher because I think yields are moving up higher. Daily chart. Daily chart, we broke out on the 8th. Retest 1, 2, 3. You don't want to see more than 3 retests. That means there's something wrong. So I think that if this market's going to hold in there, we're going to break out on the banks. Falcon. Bob, today I bought into Reddit. Play HCMC. 1.5 million shares at the open. You bought 1.5 million shares? It's a total YOLO. You're killing me. You're killing me. You guys are nuts, savages. So don't shoot me for this stay at home Vegas trip. Outstanding. Good luck with it. Trailing stop. Esmio. Could OTC stock, I don't know the company. I don't know anything about it, especially OTC stocks. McCarter, a little confused as to why an IPO like Bumble can be traded from 43 up to 70 before it actually reaches retail. It's IPO stuff, man. It's where the market makers put it, and it's their call. They're creating the market, and they got the money. That's the speculative mania. I wouldn't touch it, but there are a lot of people that will. Technology, all-time highs. Really nice chart until you scroll down and you look at this volume. It's like crickets. What is with this? Daily chart. The only thing keeping the technology sector up right now, the semis ripped today. Ripped. That chip supply is sending the entire sector higher. Daily chart, new all-time high today. No volume. If these volume bars are coming in up above average volume, I wouldn't hesitate to cover my short, but it's not. And the driver of this rally, have no doubt, semis. Look at this move this week. We're up over 7% on the week. Volume's still light, though. So extended. Oh, my God. Man, when this goes. Biotech's bearish reversal week so far. Very light volume. Consumer discretionaries. This is a tale of 2 ascending wedge formations, right? This one here, which is probably not going to end well. And this one here, which was resolved to the upside. Crazy. So XLY, not looking good. Very light down volume, though, so you never know. Maybe they'll pump it up. Down day. Down 1.25% today. On light volume. There's no volume. Energy. I took it on the chin today. But not a bad week. Very similar price action as to what you're seeing in the banks. Cena, how you doing, brother? McCarter, I kept hearing that China was hoarding chips, but they didn't exactly say for what. EVs, green technology, probably. Everardo, good evening, Bob. Would like to hear your thoughts on the semiconductor shortage. Can this freeze up all American industries? Yeah. It depends upon the chip, right? If it's DRAM chips, and don't get me wrong, I'm no chip guy, but I know DRAM chips. Those are Micron. They make those chips. Those are used they're widely used. Taiwan Semiconductor makes them. Micron Technology is another big player. I don't know whether the shortage is in a specialized chip for EV vehicles. I don't know. I have to do more research on it. I don't want to come off as some specialist on it. But they're as an investment, they're taking the entire semi sector up. So I'll do more research and I'll get more educated on it. I don't know to answer your question. I want to be honest with you. So daily chart today, down day, but we did rally off the lows of the day. The horrible economic data that we're getting shouldn't bode well for our energy. But if oil continues up higher, this is the USO, oil is up over 2% this week. And it was reflected in the CPI data. And higher highs, and it looks as though we're probably going to head up higher on oil. What did it do today? It was down today. Okay. So that's why energy was down. Gold. All right, so gold and silver. Long term, I'm bullish on both. Short term, I'm a little bit concerned. One reason is the CPI data. The good news is that the dollar looks like it's going to tumble. But the weakness here on gold, its inability to hold 1850 is a concern. So for me to start buying up more gold mining stocks, to buy physical gold, I wouldn't buy paper gold. I'm not going to do that. I need to see it close above 1850, and it's got to hold it. We just can't seem to close above 1850. And take note of the lower high on Stokes. This is a weekly time frame now, and we have broken down below the lower band of support. RSI is threatening a higher low here and a potential breakout. Volume to the upside, very light. Let's go to a daily chart. Not a good day, man. Not a lot of sellers, but that CPI data didn't help. It didn't help. It hurt. Initially, the gold stocks were up. Then that report got released. You saw gold sell off. The miners sold off. Possible lower high on Stokes. So beware here. And even if, some people are of the belief that if the market goes, then so goes everything with the exception of precious metals. Money will rotate into precious metals. It will eventually. But you need to remember this. If this market goes, if we begin to correct hard, we have a record amount of margin debt or near record margin debt. I'm not sure if we're at a record. I don't want to be hyperbolic. So as those margin calls begin to get called in, and his margin requirements, much as what they did with GameStop and AMC and BlackBerry, they forced those guys out of those positions. And it wasn't just Robinhood. You're going to see whatever can get sold will get sold. You'll probably see a bid under the dollar, and then eventually the first to catch a bid out of the precious metals will probably be gold, then silver. Then you see the miners begin. As gold catches a bid, the miners will start to play catch up, where equities can continue lower, but everything will sell off initially, just some less worse than others. GDXJ down weak. We're long of the GDXJ. Holding support. Did it close above 50? Yeah, it closed above 50. It struggled though. Take note of these Stokes rolling over. I'm nervous here. I'm nervous here. We really need to see a higher low on gold. These Stokes need to hook up and hook up very, very quickly. But this is very good support we're putting in here. This is a great consolidation. This is gold money. We booked profits on this today. Because we saw gold coming in. Gold money trades with gold. I will be looking to buy back in. $2.50 per share. Good support. What else do we have? Silver. Flat on the week. Literally. Oh, this is the silver miners. Flat on the week. AGQ. This is the leveraged ETF of silver. We own it. We booked profits. I had sold puts. So I was the banker. I was not the buyer or the borrower. I was the banker. I sold the puts expiring next week, next Friday. And we booked profits on that position yesterday because I was worried about AGQ not holding 50. That was my strike price. And I didn't want to have more shares assigned to me on a sell-off. So we made those profits real. And I'm not going to reopen that position because I'm worried about silver possibly breaking here along with gold. But if we see a sell-off, then I'll redo that trade, but at a lower strike price. Uranium, we were long, we booked profits. Man, when it broke out big. All right. We'll leave off with emerging markets. Weekly chart, we're up big on the week. Any sell-off, if and when we do get a sell-off, we'll be taking our short positions when we're closing them out. We'll be rotating into gold miners, physical gold, silver, silver miners, emerging markets. Daily chart. Good looking chart. Volume rising sequentially, but still below average. So that is the weekly charts. Those are the weekly charts. Let's go to some questions. 480 Shenanigans. Hello, sir. Rico. Hey. Karim. Hello, sir. Safin. Good stocks to watch for tomorrow. Bumble. Christopher. Bob, can you look at BIGC? If we have time, I certainly will. Okay, let's do this. So I need to go to members requests first. We're going to do chart requests. Then I go to super chats. And if we have time, I'll take requests from from the audience. So let's get to it. I have Nestor's up first. Nestor with FedEx. We will be using, I'm actually going to go to FedEx second. I will be using TrendSpider, 35% discount code below. They are sponsoring this for us. Okay, so before we go to FedEx, I want to talk a bit about, how much time do we have? 20 minutes. OPTT, Ocean Power Technology. I've done videos on this, quite a bit of analysis. I want to buy it. I'm reluctant. Oil down today. OPT down today. In fact, it broke support, was able to rally back. If oil moves lower, OPTT comes under pressure. Beware. Stiff resistance up here at $6.18. I want to know, not that I'm going to wait until we break out here, but I certainly would be an aggressive buyer on a breakout above $6.18 per share. All right, I already have alerts down here that I'm waiting for. Using the automated trend lines, I'll take it off. Now I'm going to put them back on. Watch for the green. Right here. So TrendSpider is telling me that we have support below. I want to know when we, or if we, touch or bounce. Keep a little bit of sensitivity. Okay. Let's keep this active for 15 days. All right, so we're good to go here. Daily chart. You can see how they tried to take it down today, which they did. They took it down, but they rallied it back off the lows. The question is, does it hold? If oil continues to weaken up, it's going to be a little bit difficult for OPT. All the renewables are going to have trouble. They need oil to continue up higher to make their products cost effective. So our alerts are set here. You can see this was triggered today. Let's get rid of this. I'm going to reset this now. I want to know if we break through it. Actually, let's make it 4 hours. Because I'm not going to short it. I don't need to know all that quickly. I really just care if it closes down below daily support. And there we go. We're good to go. OPTT, good. FedEx for Nestor. Then we have NVIDIA for Franklin. Is Pat on? Patrick? FedEx weekly chart. We're at resistance, a lot of resistance here. Way too close to resistance for me to buy. And the one thing I worry about here is this. Might we be putting in a lower high? But the optimistic way of looking at this is this. We may have a lower high, but we know we've broken out. So let's go to the daily chart quickly. Yeah, we broke support today. Again, the value of the automated trend line saves you a lot of time, man. We broke support today. I think you got to wait. I think we need to close above 289 per share. I don't see a great rush to get involved in here right now, Nestor. Let's take a look at seasonality. 14 years is sufficient. February is generally a pretty good month. This is a pretty steady eddy. I mean, October and November are really great. But you can't ignore this chart. I mean, if we start breaking down to new daily lows, FedEx is in trouble. So I don't see a great need here This is new functionality of insider activity. And you're able to see those with the top 10% owners, officers, directors. I mean, this is insane. And all insiders, that gets kind of crazy. It's a lot of people. But new functionality. For those that already have TrendSpider, go to sidebar, add or remove widgets. Go down here, add new widget, and just select it from down here. Well, I already have it up here. That's why it's not ready for me to pick. So, really cool functionality. In fact, leaving off FedEx, I would avoid this right now. Let it come to you. Let it show itself worthy of it. Let it show itself worthy of your investment dollar by breaking out. Facebook. Here's a great example of the functionality here. You want to see a lot of insider selling. Look at Zuckerberg. He's been dumping shares every single day since November. But we've broken out, since we're on Facebook, we've broken out on the week. All right. NVIDIA. Monster. Looks like they're making the chips that are in short supply. Beautiful. I mean, wow. Great consolidation. Daily chart. Very extended, but it can go higher. If we get a pullback, that's where I'd be interested in it. You know what would be pretty cool is to sell puts at a 585 strike, a 590 strike, and get paid to wait until it hits your support level. All right, what else do we have? Did Pat jump on? He's got nothing. Big Bear. Big Bear. It's like watching a little kid's soccer team. Everybody follows the ball in stocks. Yep, true. Oh, Joseph PZA. Yeah. All right. So this is a daily chart of TZA. There's no sense going over a weekly chart. It was a good day early on, but it faded a bit. Now, we haven't broken out in earnest yet on the candlesticks. Well, technically, I guess we did. We have broken out. Good, solid price action on the raindrop charts. This is not a screaming buy to me right now. I want it to go up. I own it. It's pure speculation. But I'm not ready yet. Good volume. Now, as you drill down, you see the chart gets better because we broke out here on a 4-hour time frame. We pulled back, we retested, and we rallied, which was good to see. So it's improving in technicals, but it's still way too early. We really need to see a break in the market. I don't watch the chart of the TZA, and for people that are not familiar, this is a leveraged ETF putting you short of the small caps. Highly volatile, not for the faint of heart. But it's a trading vehicle, not an investment. So we need to see a break in this market on big down volume, because this is hyper speculative, and I wouldn't want to add any more until we saw that break in the market. I want to signal by the market that, okay, your thesis has been validated. Now you can go adding more. Once we get that, I'll be more than happy to add more. Right now, open-minded. Right? I don't want to talk myself into a trade that the market's definitely going down. It may go down. Maybe it's going to break out. So I want to keep an open mind. I want to be very, very humble, especially when you're shorting a very, very powerful market. So TZA getting better. It's not quite ready for prime time yet to be bought. AUMN. I haven't looked at this one in a while. They've come well off their highs. Speculative froth has come off. The question is there more downside? Weekly chart. Inside week, maybe the beginning of a consolidation. I wouldn't want to bet on that yet. I would watch. February is not a good month for AUMN. Up only 33% of the time. So beware. Not a good month. If they sell it off hard, well, seasonality bounces back strong in March. So on spec, if they sell it off hard, maybe you position yourself for March and a potential rally. So no rush here. I would just watch it. Daily chart. Down day today, but not horrible. I think it's a watch. I would be watching this support level here. This is critical. 90 cents per share. It was resistance right here. It's now acting as support. If it fails and we break down below it, we're coming down here to 74 cents. On a percentage basis, that's a pretty big drop. So 90 cents per share. It's got to hold that mark. Moon. How much time do we have here? 4 minutes. I never heard of this one. I thought I knew all the direct scene funds. This new? Yeah, it's new. What is this invest in? EV and emerging technologies? It's hard to analyze. There's not a lot of data here. I'll keep it simple. When in doubt, keep it simple. Here's your lower band of support. upper band of resistance. If we break down, avoid. If we break out above 50.80, it's game on. It's going up higher. All right, NAKD. No new monthly high. We're nearly halfway through the month. Yeah. A lot of froth in here. Again, they could take this in either direction. It's not a screaming sell to me. A lot of the froth has come off. Maybe they're ready to take it up higher. They broke it out yesterday. Maybe you get a retest here. Of support. Keep that active for a few days. So I would either buy at support with a tight stop or buy on a breakout above today's high. The later in the day they can hold off on that trade to ensure that it's not going to fade, the better. So it's looking okay. I'm not hot on it, not cold on it. Very neutral. All right. And with that, folks, I'm going to say everybody have a great night and profitable trading day tomorrow. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for joining in. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel, please. Leave a comment. Share with a friend. And don't forget TrendSpider, 35% discount code below. Everybody have a great night, and thanks for being here. Be well.